Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudodaye Pushpavanto Chitra Shando Tamonado. So Balramji is, as Prabhuji was describing, he's the Adi Guru. So he's the servitor, supreme servitor personality of Godhead. Supreme servitor personality of Godhead is considered to be. So during his different whenever Krishna comes, he comes along with him. Krishna has two primary potencies, Ladini potency and Sandini potency. What is Ladini potency? I always used to be confused. What is Sandini potency and Ladini potency? What is the difference? They seem to be similar. Sandini potency is existential potency. Krishna expands himself as Balram so that his existence is taken care of. So Balramji expands as Vrindavan Dham, he expands as Golok Vrindavan, he expands as different Vaikuntha planets. Within Golok Vrindavan also he expands as different paraphernalia, flute, crown, ornaments, and the land, everything else. So that is all comes under Sandini potency. And now these are all personalities. Flute is a personality, crown is a personality, Vrindavan Dham is a personality, and all different Vaikuntha planets, they are all personalities. Later on, eventually, Balramji also expands as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So, and to create all these material universes. So these are all personalities. And they are all in the mood of rendering service. Vrindavan Dham is in mood of rendering service. Flute is in mood of rendering service. And crown is in mood of rendering service. So all these different personalities are in mood of rendering service. And who accepts that service and who nourishes that service? That is Ladini Shakti. So Sandini potency, Krishna expands as Sandini potency, and that is Balram. And Krishna expands as Ladini Shakti, that is which nourishes the service of devotees, that is Srimati Radharani. So in this way, so Balramji also serves Krishna in all the five rasas. He serves Krishna in the Shantaras, like we are describing how he expands as Vrindavan, he expands as flute, he expands as trees, and all these different personalities in order to assist Krishna's pastimes, and in this way becomes a part of Krishna's pastimes. So he assists in Santaras. He assists in Dasyaras. It is said that when Krishna Balram they go for pastimes in the Vrindavan, they go and move around, and sometimes Krishna becomes very tired. And sometimes Balram becomes very tired, and Krishna massages his feet of Balram. Sometimes Krishna becomes very tired, and Balram assists him. So in this way, Krishna is assisted in Dasyaras. Balram assists Krishna in Sakyaras as well. In fact, all the pastimes, many pastimes of Krishna, that is considered. That is, some people say that Balramji's main rasa is considered to be Sakyaras, prominent rasa. He assists Krishna in being a cohort boy. As a cohort boy, he assists him, and they both, if we go to Vrindavan, Raman Reti. So they have so many pastimes, innumerable pastimes. Pralambasur, the Leela of Pralambasur, they make two parties. We'll get into the Leela of Pralambasur later on. But I'm just saying how he assists in Sakyaras. So Krishna's party is made, and Balram's party is made, and Krishna is the leader of one party, and Balram is the leader of another party, opposite party. And they go and they start playing with each other, and whoever loses, then he has to carry the other party on his shoulders. So, and then they are playing while going into the forest, they were playing. So they would carry the other party on the shoulder in a way, and they would go in a direction where the cows can graze. So like that, they would keep playing and they would keep going. So in this way they would go. So that's how their games were strategized, coordinated, so that they play in such a way that the cows are also happy, they are also well fed, they also can do grazing, and at the same time playing also happens. Like if you go to Bandirvan, if you go, Pralambasur Leela happened actually in Bandirvan only. So if you go to Bandirvan, the Yamuna is just very nearby, and Vrindavan is on the other side, and Bandirvan is on the other side of Yamuna. Vrindavan is on one side of Yamuna, and Bandirvan is another side of Yamuna. So for grazing the cows, they have to go across Yamuna. How do they cross Yamuna? How do all the cows and everyone cross Yamuna without becoming wet? Or do they become wet because they go and do pastimes in Bandirvan? How is it possible? So it is said that they would have swimming pastimes. They would have different. Some say, they would have, and also it is also said that the trees of Bandirvan are so big, so huge. Even if we go today, we can see huge trees. They are so huge that the trees, the branches of Yamuna, the branches of the trees on the others in the Bandirvan, they would extend from that side to the other side of Yamuna. So all the gopas and cows, they would go on the branches of Yamuna, and they would play in a way that they would want to cross Yamuna without becoming wet. So they would go via the branches of Bandirvan for trees, and they would go to the other side. So like that. So in this way, they would play different games, and they would also go do the grazing. So in this way, it would happen. So he assists in Sakyaras, and he assists in Vatsalyaras. When Krishna has to, the only person Yashoda would depend upon when Krishna goes for grazing is Balram, because Krishna would overpower everyone. Anybody wants to play games, Krishna would play games with them. But Balram, he can't play games with Balram. Balram would catch him. Therefore, we can see that when Krishna ate mud, or he didn't eat mud, whatever you call it as. So the complaint went to Mother Yashoda, and all the cowherd boys were also complaining. Mother Yashoda, cowherd boys complain, Mother Yashoda doesn't take serious. Gopis, they would every day come and complain. Mother Yashoda would not take seriously. But on this particular day, along with all the cowherd boys, even Balramji is complaining. Balramji also started complaining. Yes, Krishna had taken mud, Krishna had eaten mud. So then Yashoda said, see, Balramji is also complaining, he has certainly eaten mud, there is no doubt about it. So Balramji, because he is in Vatsalyaras, he is taking care. Now Krishna tried to play games there also. He said, oh, we had a quarrel, we made two parties, and Balram became very happy on the other side of the party, unhappy on the other side of the party. So therefore he joined the other party, and all together they are complaining against me. So like that Krishna started saying. So, but the point is that Krishna would be taken care of by Balram. In the Pralambasur Vad, it so happened that Balramji was being carried by Pralamba. And when Balram was being carried by Pralamba, Balram was not worried about himself. He thought, if one demon has entered into the cowherd boys community and he is carrying me away outside, far off from Krishna, then that means probably it's not necessary that only one demon has entered the community. There could be other demons also who have disguised themselves as cowherd boys, and some demon might be carrying Krishna also. So he became concerned about Krishna more than himself. And then after that, and because he became concerned about Krishna, after becoming concerned about Krishna more, then he gave a punch to Pralamba. He punched Pralamba. So in this way, he is in Vatsalyaras. There is another story there. So it is said that Krishna is every day, his waves, cock feather and crown, and the difference between Krishna and Balram, Krishna and Balram are same. The only difference is in complexion. Balram is in white complexion, Krishna is in black complexion. Another difference is Krishna wears a peacock feather, Balram doesn't wear a peacock feather. So on this particular day, Balram thought, oh, Krishna is, because he is Pralamba also, he thought that Krishna is very powerful, therefore let me catch Balram first. First I'll kill him, then I'll catch Krishna. That's what Pralamba thought. So Balram thought that always Krishna is in trouble because of these demons. So today I will go, in order to protect Krishna, I will wear this peacock feather. So he took peacock feather and flute from Krishna. He wore peacock feather. Some other devotees, they say some other way. But anyway, this is also one of the ways it is said. That he has taken peacock feather and he has taken flute and he goes into the forest, saying that I am Krishna. Let us see. Because the demons, the cohort boys know who is Balram and who is Krishna. Demons doesn't know. They only identify by flute and peacock feather and all that. So he is gone with flute and peacock feather and all that. And then on that particular day, Keshi had come. Keshi thought that this is Krishna. Oh, I got a good chance. Nobody is around also. Balram went alone. So nobody around also. He came and he kicked Balram. Balram flew from there and he came and fell in his home. His peacock feather went somewhere and his flute went somewhere. He went to Krishna with flute and peacock feather and said, "Bhai, tumhi lo, tumhi rakho, tumhi samalo sasram ko, main nahi samalunga." So basically, in this way, Balramji is very, he is always in Vatsalya Ras. And he is also in Madhuri Ras. He also assists in Madhuri Ras, not directly. He is, because Krishna is enjoying with Srimati Radharani and he is embarrassed if Balramji is all around. So therefore, Balramji maintains safe distance. Now, there is one temple in, when we go on a Govardhan Parikrama, if we go a little far from Dangati, we come across one temple called Deka Dauji. It comes on the way, maybe 2-3 kilometers from Dangati, 3-4 kilometers from Dangati, before Aniyor Gram, I think, or maybe after Aniyor Gram. So that is the place where Balramji used to stand on the top of Govardhan, and from there he used to hidingly see Krishna's Madhurya Lila, Madhurya Ras. So from there, that place, Chandra Sarovar is visible, it is said. So from there, Chandra Sarovar, Krishna has many Raslila pastimes. So from there, Balramji takes darshan of those pastimes. Because if he goes nearby, then Krishna will be embarrassed, Radharani will be embarrassed. So it's not possible. So therefore, Balramji stays far off. But however, he also wants to assist in Krishna's pastimes. So therefore he expands himself as Ananga Manjari. So Ananga Manjari is Radharani's sister. And she assists in Krishna's pastimes. Radharani's pastimes. Radharani's Madhurya Lila pastimes. So in this way, Balramji assists in all the 5 rasas. And offers pleasure to Krishna in all the 5 rasas. And Balramji is the elder brother of Krishna. So Balramji, when he came as in Treta Yuga, when Lord Ramchandra had come, Lakshman had come along with Balram. Lakshman was younger brother. So, and because he is servant, as we were discussing, Balramji is in the mood of servant of Krishna. So Lakshman is also in the mood of servant of Ramchandra. So therefore he came as younger brother. Younger brother is ideally supposed to be, Anuj. He is supposed to assist elder brother. So he thought, I'll assist Krishna, Ramchandra. Lakshman thought, I'll assist Ram by becoming younger brother. And he would always, from the beginning, from the time they were born, Lakshman used to very intimately, confidentially assist Ramchandra. But his pleasure became short-lived after Sita came. Sita said, only you assist, what will others do? I have got married with him, I am supposed to assist, you never leave him only. So, how will I assist him? I will not be able to assist him. So then they had a fight. Lakshman and Sita, they had a fight. So who will assist? So finally they came to Ram. They said that, you have to decide who will assist. Lakshman said, Sita said, I got married with him in order to assist him, in order to serve him. And you are not leaving him. So how is it possible? I will not be able to serve him. So you should leave him. He said, I took birth in order to serve him. You got married in order to serve him, but I took birth in order to serve him. From last 20 years, I have been serving for whatever years. I have been serving him. So how can you say that all of a sudden you have come in between and you are saying that I want to serve him? It's not possible. So this is not possible. So they both put their cases. So Ramchandra thought it's very difficult to decide. If I take any side, the other person will become angry. So he thought, see, we are all under the jurisdiction of Vasishtha Muni. So let us go to Vasishtha Muni. Let him decide. So they thought, okay, let us go to Vasishtha Muni. So then they went to Vasishtha Muni. Vasishtha Muni said, okay. So Vasishtha Muni said, whenever Ramchandra is in his private chambers, that time Sita will assist. And whenever Ramchandra is in his formal chambers, that time Lakshman will assist. So that was the judgment which was given to Vasishtha Muni. The Lakshman was not very happy because earlier he was serving 24 hours. Now he got to serve only few hours, or few hours got reduced, whatever. So he was not very happy. Sita was somewhat happy. At least he got some service now. So anyway, the point is that Lakshman is an ardent servant. So he was not happy when he got this order. So finally, but still he accepted Mother Sita. Mother Sita is the potency of Lord Ram. So he accepted her as his life and soul. And he was serving, and it so happened that they had to go to forest, and only along with Ram, only Lakshman and Sita had gone. And when Ravan made a plan to abduct Sita, so he came, Maricha had come in the form of a golden deer. And Lakshman said, no, this is golden deer. This is some, I have not seen, Lakshman is so intelligent, he knows all the 84 lakh species. He said, I have not seen all this golden deer in the 84 lakh species. So this is surely, some kind of magical deer. So don't go near this deer. My deer is very dangerous. He was speaking about Bharat Maharaj. This is another deer. But Sita, she thought that, my dear, you have to get this, dearest deer. So, she started arguing, please get this dearest deer. So anyway, so finally, Ramchandra thought that she never asked for anything. At least she is asking for this deer. Let me assist. Let me bring the deer. Protect her by let me fulfill her desire by bringing the deer. And he went. And then sure enough, this Maricha had gone, and after going for a long distance after that, he started shouting, hey Lakshman, hey Sita, protect me. So like that he started shouting, and Sita became very disturbed. She said that, go Lakshman, go and immediately protect your elder brother is in danger, go and immediately protect him. So Lakshman said, how can Ramchandra be in danger? There is no question of him being in danger. So don't worry. But Sita would not listen at all. She was adamant. And then she went to the extent of criticizing Lakshman, saying that you have been waiting here in order to see that your elder brother gets killed so that you can enjoy me. And that was very painful for Lakshman. He said, oh, Mother, I could not. I never thought in this way. And I can't understand how you have spoken like this. So though I know that by the time I come back, you will not be here. But then what can I do? So with a heavy heart, he left that place. And sure enough, while coming back, Ram caught him. He said, that was a Rakshasa. And you left Sita alone. And she became emotional and she spoke like this. Just because she spoke like this, you left her alone. I have told you not to leave that place and you have left her. And he started criticizing. He started chastising. Why have you done this? Lakshman was torn apart. So finally, Ramchandra came back to find that Sita is no more. And so till that time, and after that, Ramchandra after Sita is gone, Ramchandra practically became a madman. And Lakshman had to be there all around. And it was very painful for Lakshman to see all these things. Finally, the war had happened, and then Sita was rescued from Ravan's Lanka. And then Sita was coming in palanquin, and Ramchandra said that you go and tell her to come by walking. So Lakshman thought, So he, there were tears in Lakshman's eyes. He said, I can't tell her. But he said, no, you have to go. Then Ram, because he's playing the role of being Adarsha Purush. So, when he displays being strong, nobody can, speak. There is no question of, approaching or trying to convince him. You just have to see and understand, okay, this is his emotion now. Now I have to follow, that's all. So Lakshmana was like that. And there is no question of, communicating. He was very angry. Ram was very angry. So Ram was very bold, grave. So there is no question of communicating with Ram. So he said she has to come and walking. And then she came here. Lakshman went there and she said, Ram wants you to come walking. And she did not mind so much. What is so great about it? What is so... So she came walking and she came nearby. She was about to speak sweet words with Ram, and Ram said, so I have come all the way from Ayodhya. I have come to kill Ravan and destroy his dynasty in order to protect the honor of Raghuvamsha. And I have done it. As far as you are concerned, because you have stayed with Ravan for this long, you can choose to be with along with this Asura's dynasty. You can choose to be with Vibhishan because Ravan has got killed now. Or if you want to choose someone else, you can choose someone else. With a grave look, he has spoken like this. And these words were unbelievable for Sita. Sita said that, oh, you feel that I should get married with someone? Then why did you come all the way? Spend so much money, spend so much energy, spend so much energy, and so much lives were lost. So many lives were lost. Millions of Rakshasas dead, millions of Vanaras at that time were dead. So what is this point in doing all this? She could have just sent a message to me when Hanuman had come. I would have committed suicide at that time only. There is no point in doing all these things. Why have you put so much endeavor? Ram was not even wanting to talk. That's all. He has given already. Whatever he has spoken already. He was very grave. So then Sita said, so anyway, there is no point in living. She told Lakshman, make a funeral. And there were tears in Lakshman's eyes, and he looked at Ram. Ram did not say anything, which means he nodded. Which means he said, yes, make a funeral. He didn't say, oh no, means he said yes. So then Lakshman with a heavy heart, and this service was given to Lakshman only. There are so many people all around. Anybody can make a funeral. Making funeral is not so difficult. So Lakshman only has to make funeral. So he made a funeral and Sita entered into it and she came out, spotless. So Lakshman thought this is too much. It's unbearable now. Anyway, it was going on. Finally, because she became spotless, she appeared spotless, and they were living together in Ayodhya. And then he said something. So many people. Ramchandra is the emperor of the whole world, whole Bhumandala at that time. So many citizens, so many things they speak. This person, he has spoken something. He said, oh, Ram had brought a Sita who stayed in someone else's home for 1 year, but as far as I am concerned, I can't tolerate bringing my wife who stayed in someone else's home for 1 or 2 nights, whatever. So when he said that, and the spy came and told this to Ram, Lakshman was also there nearby. Lakshman immediately drew out his word. Ooh, what nonsense he is speaking. And I will cut his tongue. But Ram said, no. This is a very serious thing. This means people are speaking like this, thinking like this. There is the mind. People are contemplating in this way. So Lakshman, you should go and get Sita banished. Again, of all the people, he told Lakshman only. Because he is the most confidential servant. No? This is the problem of being most confidential servant. If you become most confidential servant, we have to execute most difficult orders. So he said, He said, you have to do it. So then Lakshman took her and they were going, and he said that I'm taking her because you like hermits very much, and it's long time since you've been out of hermits in this hustle and bustle of city life. Sometimes our devotees, they go for retreat, right? Being in Calcutta for too long, they become troubled, so they go to Vrindavan or somewhere else. So like that, he took Sita, and while on the way, Lakshman is crying. Sita said, "अरे 2 घंटा हुआ उधर से अयोध्या से आया, लक्ष्मण रामचंद्र को 2 घंटा नहीं देगा तो रोने लगे, गजे हुए भाई. What is so great about after 1 or 2 days anyway we'll go back. Why are you crying? Let us go. I'm also attached to Sita, Ram so much, but not like this. After 2 hours, if you don't see Ram, you're crying." So like that she started saying. Anyway, Lakshman, he brought her near Valmiki Rishi's ashram, and he left her there, and he said that, "Mother Sita, Ramchandra told me to get you banished, so kindly forgive me. So I'm going back all alone now." And then she started crying like piteously. And Lakshman had to tolerate that. And after this, he thought, next time I'm not going to be elder brother anymore. This is too much. This is too much. Next time I'm going to come as elder brother. Next time Krishna would think something off the box, I'm not going to do it. So therefore he came as Balram, who is elder brother. But still he is servant. And he serves, as we have been discussing, in all the 5 rasas. And he serves very confidentially, very intimately Krishna in all the 5 rasas. He serves as in the Santaras, he serves in Dasiras, he serves in Sakyaras, he serves in Madhuryaras, and he serves in Vatsalyaras. So in this way, Balramji, he comes and he appears and he serves Krishna in his different incarnations. And he assists in all the pastimes of Krishna. So he came as elder brother, and sure enough, he has decided sometimes to not go along with Krishna, but in a mood of service. Like Prabhuji was describing how Pandavas and Kauravas battle, Balramji has decided not to side with Pandavas. And he has remained aloof from the battle. And that was the time when Romaharshan Sut was killed. So in this way, so there were several instances when Krishna and Balram, they went after Shatadanva. So they went after Shatadanva to kill him. From Dwarka, all the way they came to Mithila. So Dwarka is and Mithila are quite far. So Dwarka and Mithila are quite far. So they came all the way from Dwarka to Mithila. So while coming from Dwarka to Mithila, so they were coming after Shatadanva, and finally Shatadanva was killed. So after killing Shatadanva, so Balramji was thinking, I am not going to go back to Dwarka. And because this Krishna, he shows extra affection for his devotees. He shows so much affection. Even if they are seemingly they are wrong, he still protects them. He still shows them affection. Even if they are wrong, so Akrura was wrong, seemingly. Still he is showing so much affection. Kritavarma was wrong, seemingly. Still he is showing so much affection. So I can't tolerate this anymore. This, there should be some basis of justice also. So Balramji decided to stay back in Mithila at that time. And he stayed there for 3 years. That was the time when he taught Duryodhana, mace, how to fight with mace. And his affection for Duryodhana became very strong at that time. So in this way, so Balramji has chosen sometimes, that also in the mood to assist Krishna. So in this way we see that Balramji is always in the mood of servant of Krishna. During Krishna's pastime, there are some demons whom Krishna doesn't want to kill. Janukasur is one person. Why? Because Krishna had promised Prahlad that anyone who is there in your lineage, I'm not going to kill them. Hiranyakashipu is the last person. So therefore, and Dhenukasur comes in the lineage of Prahlad. So therefore, he can't kill Dhenukasur. And because Krishna cannot kill Dhenukasur, then Balramji has volunteered. He said, okay, I will kill Dhenukasur. So in the pastime of Dhenukasur, in Talavan, so all the cowherd boys, so they were very eager. They were going around and they saw that, this Talavan is there nearby. So we'll go to Talavan and we'll pick tal fruits and we'll eat them. So that was decided by all the cowherd boys. So they came and but they knew that this Dhenukasur and his associates are there, so nobody can enter inside Talavan. Not even a bird flying over Talavan, Dhenukasur would catch it and kill it. So he was so atrocious. And his Dhenukasur and his associates, big Talavan, it was there. And Dhenukasur was the associate of Kamsa who was living there to control Talavan. So they went to Krishna Balram and they said that we are very hungry and we want to eat the fruits of tal. We want to eat tal fruits. So please satisfy our hunger. But they were saying naturally, as we know, that they were wanting to say like this so that Krishna and Balram themselves can relish the fruits of tal. So they said that like this, and then Krishna Balram, they said, let us go to Talvan. But they said that, but there is a big asur, Dhenukasur is there, Gardabasur, donkey. He's there and he's creating lot of problems there and nobody can enter inside. And Balramji said, who is this Dhenukasur? Let us see, let us go. So he went inside Talvan and then he caught one tal tree and he started shaking very heavily. And then the whole forest, he was shaking so heavily that the whole forest started shaking. Bala, it is said, Prabhupada writes in one purport that Balramji is the giver of spiritual strength. So Prabhupada writes it comes in 7th canto, 15th chapter. It comes in that particular, in one of the purports in 7th canto, 15th chapter, where it is said that Balramji is the giver of spiritual strength. What is the spiritual strength? The sword of knowledge. In this particular Prabhupada writes that the sword of knowledge is given by Krishna. But then, in order to hold the sword of knowledge, we need strength. It is said in olden days, someone told me that Tipu Sultan's sword was 70 kgs heavy. I don't know whether it is true or not. So if the sword is 70 kgs heavy, how can he lift it? And a normal person cannot lift it. As someone else told that this Maharana Pratap was very tall and his sword was also very heavy. Akbar cannot lift the sword of Maharana Pratap. That's what I heard. So Akbar would personally not go in front of Maharana Pratap. He would send his soldiers in front of him because Maharana Pratap was very tall and Akbar was short and his sword is so heavy. If he goes in front of him, Maharana Pratap picks his sword and would immediately chop him into two pieces, from the top like that. So Akbar had this fear. That's what some people say. Anyway, the point is that the sword is so heavy. So in order to cut the attachments, you need a sword which is very heavy. A small sword would not cut the material attachments. So, but who will give the strength to hold the sword? The sword of knowledge. So Prabhupada writes in this particular purport that this sword of knowledge is given by Krishna, but the strength to hold that sword is given by Balram. Like that Prabhupada writes. So yes. So where we were. So Dhenukasur. So he was Balramji was shaking. So Bala means one who has lot of strength. So that means physical strength and also spiritual strength. So he had a lot of strength and he was shaking, and the tal fruits were falling, and Dhenukasur thought, who has come? And he started running. And he came running, and as we know the story, he came running and he turned back. With great force he came running and he turned back. And he hit Balramji's chest. And again he started. One time he hit it, and Balramji, generally when Dhenukasur would come and hit someone, immediately he would die. And Balramji did not move only. There was nothing happened to Balram. So again he was about to hit. This time Balramji caught him by hind legs. Then he started whirling around. And while whirling around only, Dhenukasur lost his life. And Balramji whirled around and he threw him on the treetop. And he went and fell on the treetop, and because his weight is so heavy, that the tree, he started shaking, and the tree went and it was shaking, and it went and fell on the other tree, and the other tree fell on the other tree, and the other tree fell on the other tree, and other tree fell on the, like that, hundreds of trees fell. So, and then, there different Dhenukasur associates had started coming. Anyway, we'll see. So different Dhenukasur associates started coming, and they started, and now both Krishna Balram, they came together, they started, standing there, and each person used to catch one donkey, each donkey, different donkeys, and they would whirl around and throw, and then this panoramic scene was going on, and tall Talavan trees, and on the top of Talavan trees the donkeys were there, and then trees were falling, and then it is said that the blood is splitted all around, and it was setting, sun was setting, and all the Talavan trees were standing, and on the top of Talavan trees there were donkeys, and blood was suspended in the air. So, and Srimad Bhagavan says it's a very beautiful sight. For us it seems violent sight. But anyway, when Krishna does something, it becomes very beautiful. So in this way, it was a very beautiful sight. So Balramji, it is said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Balramji has specifically killed 3-4 asuras. So these asuras, every asura which Krishna had killed, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he symbolizes them with particular anartha. Similarly, every asura which Balram has killed, he symbolizes them with particular anartha. So this Dhenukasur is symbolized with materialistic burden and materialistic ignorance. So, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there is a difference between Krishna's asuras and Balramji's asuras. What is the difference? Very significant difference. He says that Krishna's asuras, we pray to Krishna, then Krishna removes them out of his mercy. And Balramji's asuras, the anarthas which are symbolized by Balram, which are symbolized by asuras killed by Balram. So if we pray to Krishna, Krishna will not remove them. So they are removed only by spiritual master, because Balramji is in the role of Adi Guru. They are removed only by spiritual master. That is one point. Second point which Bhaktivinoda Thakur says is that these anarthas, they are removed by the endeavors of sadhaka, primarily by endeavors of sadhaka. So when the sadhaka endeavors with great, he puts lot of endeavors. So when sadhaka puts lot of endeavors, then Guru becomes pleased and he removes the anarthas. Like that Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So these are the 2 points which are mentioned by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Firstly, these anarthas are removed only by spiritual master. Secondly, these anarthas are removed mainly by sadhaka's endeavors. So therefore, these anarthas are special because they are removed by sadhaka's endeavors and they are removed only by spiritual master. Even if we pray to Krishna a lot, still Krishna will not remove them. So this gross materialistic burden or ignorance. So where does it come from? It comes purely from our karma, previous karma which we are carrying. So that is the burden which we are carrying, and that is the ignorance which we are carrying. It is said that the 4 kinds of anarthas, hridaya daurbalya and asatrishna. One of them is ignorance of spiritual knowledge. I'm not remembering. Tattva Vibrama. So Tattva Vibrama is ignorance of spiritual knowledge. Now somebody may say, how can devotees, once they have started practicing, very first day we are taught the essence of knowledge. What is Jiva and what is Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Jiva is the servant. And that is the essence of all knowledge. And that we are taught in the very first day. So how what is the meaning of Tattva Vibrama then? When we are in the very first day taught, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Jiva is the servant. So in the very first day we know this. Then where is the question of Tattva Vibrama? Tattva Vibrama is not is in the application of this knowledge. Tattva Vibrama is in application of this knowledge, because when it goes to application, we have to deal with material energy, and sometimes material energy, how we engage it in service of Krishna, that is very tricky. And we also deal with devotees and how we engage them in service of Krishna, or how we engage ourselves in service to them as being representatives of Krishna, that is very tricky. So, while dealing with material energy and while dealing with spiritual energy, we come to some conclusions that probably this is how it is best way to serve Krishna. And that may not necessarily be the best way to serve Krishna. So that knowledge is lacking. And that ignorance comes from materialistic karmic burden which we are carrying. And that cannot be, no matter how intelligent one may be. So-called intelligent one may be, so-called scholarly one may be, that cannot be resolved unless and until one puts one's own endeavors and one takes shelter of spiritual master. That in Krishna service and how to engage matter in Krishna service in a way that is pleasing to Krishna is not clear, no matter how so-called intelligent one may be, no matter how so-called scholarly one may be topper, whatever, one may be university topper, whatever, or one may be, most richest person, most intelligent person, most knowledgeable person. In the material circles, still will not be clear unless and until one chooses to serve spiritual master. One chooses to endeavor and one chooses to serve spiritual master. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So this is about Dhenukasura. And the other asura which Balramji kills is Pralambasura. And Pralambasura, we were discussing about the pastime where all the cohort boys, they were playing and they made 2 parties. So on this particular day, one cohort boy did not come. And Pralambasura had come and he thought that this boy had not come because of some function or something in their home. So he disguised himself as that particular cohort boy. And he came and he joined the group. And he was playing, and not only he disguised himself, but he was also acting in this way that, mixing with all of them in a way that, he seems like a cohort boy only. But Krishna is very intelligent. Krishna could understand this cohort boy is there in between, who is not, who is a Rakshasa, Pralambasur. And this cohort boy is thinking that Krishna is very powerful, because he has killed all these demons. So I'll not kill Krishna directly. First I'll kill Balram and then I'll kill Krishna. That's what this Asura was thinking. So Krishna knows the heart of Asura. Oh, you think Balram is less powerful? Okay, let us see. So you want to kill Balram first because he is less powerful. So I will arrange a fight in such a way. I will arrange the game in such a way that you will get to interact with Balram first. So Krishna thought like that. So he made two parties. So the game was that both would wrestle with each other or something like that, and whichever party loses, he has to carry the other party on their shoulders. So Krishna became leader of one party, and Balram became leader of another party, opposite parties. And Krishna's party, Balramji's party won. Balramji's party won. And this cohort boy was in Krishna's party. So Balramji's party, Sridama was there in Balramji's party, and this cohort boy was there in Krishna's party. So because Krishna's party lost, so Krishna has to carry someone. So Krishna chose to carry Sridama. And because Pralamba's party lost, Pralamba has to carry someone. So Pralamba had chose to carry Balram. So so they as we were discussing that they were going deep into the forest. They know pathway. Okay, so we'll carry in this direction. So Krishna is carrying Sridam in that particular direction. Now this Pralamba, he started carrying Balram. He took a detour. He started going in some other direction altogether. Balramji is talking with Pralamba and he's thinking, he's talking and he's saying, oh, all these boys they are playing playing other games. It seems we are going far off. But why are you taking in this direction? Why are you going in this direction? This doesn't seem to be the right direction. Like that he was talking. And then this Asura is becoming little anxious. He started running. So he said, why are you running all of a sudden? And we are supposed to go in this direction and you are going in this direction and you are running also. And you are out of anxiety, and Balramji could understand this person is an Asura. And out of anxiety, and when Balramji understood, he started increasing his weight. And as the weight started increasing, and out of anxiety, this Asura could not keep his form concealed anymore. So he became a big demon all of a sudden. And Balramji was on the top, and Balramji started thinking, this demon is with me. And he had disguised as cohort boy. This means that probably there were other cohort boys also many other Asuras also disguised as cohort boys had come. So probably Krishna is in danger. So Balramji was not concerned about himself. He was concerned about Krishna, who might be in danger. So then with his fist, he punched on the head of this demon. And blood started coming out. And then he was spot dead there only. So therefore, one of the names of Balram is Pralambari, who kills Pralambasur. So in this way, Pralambasur was dead. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this particular Asura symbolizes hypocrisy. And also he symbolizes gross and subtle material sense enjoyment. So this tendency to do enjoyment, sometimes we don't even know. Sometimes it is very gross, we can know. Sometimes we don't even know. We think that this is what is right. So just like this cohort boy, he had come in a disguised form. So similarly, sense gratification comes also in a disguised form, and we think that it is conducive for our spiritual life. Just like Krishna Balram, they thought this cowherd boy is our own community man. He is one of the koalas whom we are supposed to deal with. So similarly, this particular anarthas, this particular gross and subtle material sense enjoyment, they come in a way that one does not understand what is right and what is wrong. It is said one of the Lord Chaitanya, he gives his mercy in several ways. One of the ways by which he gives is that there are several opinions. If you want to do something, if you go and ask one devotee, we say, Prabhuji, I want to do like this. What do you say? What do you say? He says, no, you can't do like this. This is not good for your spiritual life, and it's not helpful for you. And we go to some other devotee. We don't know what to do. So we think that, better ask 2-3 devotees. So we go to some other devotee. Probably we think that I want to do like this. Yes, you have to do like this only. This is best for you. We go to third devotee. He doesn't speak both these things. He speaks something else. So we think, what to do now? There's so many opinions. X, Y, Z, what opinion to follow? Then we think that, let me go and read Srimad Bhagavatam. That will give some opinion. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is written by Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami is pure devotee of Krishna. So we'll go and read Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam gives, at least whatever we read at that time, gives altogether different opinion. What to do? So Lord Chaitanya is described to be, resolver of all these opinions. That is one of his ways by which he shows mercy. What is that? I forgot the name. Forgot the particular quality. Yeah. Anyway, so by which Lord Chaitanya. So one of the ways by which he shows mercy is to resolve all contradictions, different philosophies. Of course, this is on a different, broader level. The Lord Chaitanya, other different people used to come to Lord Chaitanya. Somebody used to bring, different Krishna's pastimes. Krishna has done in this way and in this way and in this way and in this way, and this rasa has come and this Madhuri rasa has come and this particular rasa has come, and amongst this rasa this is there and that is there. And so immediately Lord Chaitanya would get, this is rasabhas. What is meant by rasabhas? Rasabhas means you bring a glass of milk, put salt in it. That is rasabhas. If you put salt in glass of milk, what is going to happen? Salt is good, milk is good. Salt is supposed to be put in sabji and sugar is supposed to be put in milk. But if you put salt in milk, then that is rasabhas. So similarly, Vatsalya rasa is good, or amongst Madhuri rasa also so many different rasas. Radharani has a different rasa, Chandravali has a different rasa, Lalita has a different rasa, Vishaka has a different rasa. So if some devotee would go that, this is Lalita's rasa, this is Radharani's rasa, and when both of them interact with each other, this particular rasa would come, and and then it is not according to scriptures, Lord Chaitanya would catch it. This is rasabhas. So we don't understand, because we don't understand what is rasa, so we don't get into those details. But then so rasabhas, and then philosophy. So that devotee, he went to Lord Chaitanya. He said that there are two Jagannaths. One is moving Jagannath and one is stable Jagannath. So Lord Chaitanya is moving Jagannath, like that he said. So actually what he is saying is true. If you see, Prabhupada writes also, if you see what he is saying is true actually. The problem is that he is speaking, with a philosophical deviation, and so Swarup Damodar could catch it immediately. He said, this is philosophical problem. So Lord Chaitanya is very expert in resolving contradictions in this way. So many theories and so many understandings, and so how do we contradict? So that intelligence comes by spiritual master. That intelligence comes by our endeavors and spiritual master's mercy. Otherwise, everything seems similar, like Pralambasa. He seems like cowherd boy only. But how do you discriminate that he's an asura? How do we discriminate that it's a weed? That intelligence comes by spiritual master's mercy and our endeavors and spiritual master's mercy. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes like that. Similarly, we can see the story of Romaharshan Sutta, which Prabhuji was describing so nicely. So Romaharshan Sutta, if you see from a perspective, whether Romaharshan Sutta should be killed, should be punished or not. Killed is little extreme. Should be punished or not? Should be admonished or not? Should be punished, should be admonished or not? Imagine, if somebody is sitting on asana and he's doing, say, transgress something. So after he gets down, whether we should, transgress some rule, whether he should be admonished or not. So that's a question. So let us analyze Romaharshan Sutta. Romaharshan Sutta. So Romaharshan Sutta, he has, his father is from different caste and mother is from different caste. So in this way, he had this kind of birth. But then he became Vyasadev's disciple. So, and we can understand from Bhagavad Gita that guna and karma are most important. Janma is not important. And Brahmanas know that very well. So because he has been initiated by Vyasadev, Vyasadev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has taught him. So what is the problem with Romaharshan? There is no question of any problem. Or whatever problems are there, everything has been rectified. We see that Aho Batasva Pachoto Garyan. So once one chants Hare Krishna, once one takes to devotional service and becoming initiated by Vyasadev is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is the person who spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. To get initiated, to please him, even a dog eater can become pure devotee. And he becomes superior to Brahmana. What does become someone who took birth in, so-called, what do we say, Pratiloma marriage, something like Pratiloma birth, something like that. So, why he cannot be purified? So the Brahmanas have thought that he is already purified by dint of his devotional service. So we'll empower him to to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam for thousands of years. So that was the benediction which was granted by Brahmanas. And he was put on Vyasasana. So and when Balramji had come, immediately all the Brahmanas stood. Romaharshan Sutta did not stand up. So now the question comes whether Romaharshan Sutta is qualified or not. The Bhagavatam also describes that one shloka says that he has gone through this Pratiloma birth. So that also is one of his disqualifications. But actually his disqualification is not that. His disqualification is because he has become proud because of his scholarly ability. That was his actual disqualification. His disqualification was not because of his birth. So, but Bhagavatam says that despite his being birth, he had this disqualification already, and despite that, he was empowered by Vyasadev, and therefore the Brahmana and all Brahmanas also empowered him. But now, it becomes apparent and evident about his disqualification, like that Bhagavatam says. And this transgression is not just, if somebody is, transgresses some etiquette, it's not considered to be very serious. We just admonish him and then it is gone. But then this is just a symptom. This transgression of Romaharshan is just a symptom of the deep lying disqualification within him. So the Brahmanas who were sitting there, the point which we are trying to make is that the Brahmanas who were sitting there, so they have appointed Vyasadev's son, Vyasadev's this disciple as, to sit on Vyasasana, and he was speaking. And, they were accepting his scholarly sermons. And when Balramji had come there, So he could identify the disqualification of this Romaharshan. And he could say that this person is disqualified, and therefore he has to be taught a very clear lesson, and therefore he killed him. So in this way, so Balramji has that spiritual strength and vision and disposition to be able to, or spiritual master has that spiritual strength and vision and disposition to be able to see the disqualification or shortcoming in a particular person, which may not be visible by ordinary devotees. Like all the Brahmanas, they empowered him to the extent that when Balramji disempowered him, they were thinking, oh, we have already given him benediction, so what to do now? So anyway, Balramji adjusted it later on. So the point we are trying to make here is that so Romaharshan Sut had certain qualifications and certain disqualifications. So what was his so-called disqualification? What was his so-called disqualification? His so-called disqualification was he was born from a Pratiloma marriage. What was his qualification? His qualification was he was Vyasadev's disciple. Now Balramji, what did he see? He didn't see his disqualification. He didn't see his qualification. He saw beyond both of them. And he understood that this person's transgression is not because of arrogance, which has nothing to do with scholarliness or which has nothing to do with birth. And he addressed that. So in this way, so spiritual master can address those things which may not be necessarily be understood or assimilated by ordinary devotees. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions that those anarthas which have been destroyed by Balaram are very special anarthas, because those anarthas Krishna doesn't remove. No matter how much devotional service we practice and pray, so Krishna doesn't remove it. Krishna doesn't remove sitting within our heart. So those anarthas are removed by our endeavors and when spiritual master becomes pleased. So later on Balramji also comes as Nityananda Prabhu. Very angry. So but just because Romaharshan did not stand up or something like that, offer obeisances, he killed him. But Nityananda is very merciful. But his role remains same. His role remains same. It is explained that Nityananda is one who promotes a sadhaka from materialistic disposition to Suddha Sattva. Ar kabe nitai chande karuna hoibe samsara vasana mora kabe tuchcha habe. What is that after that? Visaya chadiya kabe sudha habe ma kabe hama heri go Shri Vrindava. So to get promoted from materialistic disposition to spiritual disposition, so Lord Chaitanya doesn't interfere in it. That is, one needs Lord Nityananda's mercy. Unless and until one gets Nityananda's mercy, so only when one gets Nityananda's mercy, one comes to Shuddha Sattva, and from Shuddha Sattva, one can go to higher rasas by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, by Gaur Gadadhar's mercy. It is said, Rupa Raghunada Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Puja Bose Yugala Piriti. So Rupa Raghunath, there Radharani says Rup Manjari and Yalavanga Manjari and different other Manjari, Nayanmani Manjari, different other Manjaris, Kamala Manjari. So all these different Manjaris, they are all Radharani's associates or Gadadar's associates. So after Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, one gets promoted to Suddha Sattva. Then one aspires for mercy of Radha Krishna, Gaur Gadadhar through the Goswamis. So Goswamis, so one may pray for Goswamis' mercy, and one may get their mercy even when one has not gone to Suddha Sattva, let us say. But Goswamis act as representatives of Lord Nityananda only at that time. When Prabhupada says, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that spiritual master acts as representative of Nityananda Prabhu and as Srimati Radharani. So when a person, if he has to get promoted from materialistic consciousness to Suddha Sattva, spiritual master acts as representative of Nityananda Prabhu. But one has to get promoted to more confidential rasa. So spiritual master may act as representative of Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Charitamrita also speaks about Panchatattva, and Chaitanya Charitamrita actually doesn't speak about Panchatattva. It speaks about 6 tattvas. The Panchatattva whom we know, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. What is 6th tattva? 6th tattva is Guru tattva. Chaitanya Charitamrita, very first few slokas it comes. 6th tattva is Guru tattva. And Guru tattva is representative of all the 5 tattvas. Because it's very difficult to understand when Nityananda Prabhu is helping us, when Radharani is helping, when Srivas Thakur is helping us, when Advaita Acharya is helping us. So it is said that you follow Guru tattva, and Guru tattva will represent whomsoever required, and in this way offer mercy like that. So in this way. So Nityananda Prabhu. So by Nityananda's mercy, one goes from materialistic consciousness to Suddha Sattva. So Balramji has come as Lord Nityananda in order to promote a sadhaka from materialistic consciousness to Suddha Sattva. So on this particular appearance day of Balramji, we can pray that that by Lord Balram's mercy, these conditionings which have a strong implication on us, and we are not able to come out of them, despite putting so many endeavors, or probably we may not be putting sufficient endeavors, whatever you call it as. So despite these disqualifications, we may pray that Balramji, he sends his representatives, so that we may be released of these conditionings, and we may be, and by the spiritual strength which is offered, we can by the spiritual strength which is offered, we carry the sword of knowledge to cut down the conditionings. So in this way we may pray and celebrate Balram Jayanti in this way. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Shri Balram Ji ki, Shri Prabhupada ki.